Hello and welcome back to Quick Match. Sorry we were a little late this time, not several months.
Nah, it's cool. I'll have this
Uh,
episode out by tonight. No big deal.
you will.
I'll have it out by tonight.
uh,
I'm not worried about
nah, life got in the way of me by throwing Bambi at me or Bambi's mom at me.
it.
I'm mad at that. 7 years of that car, no deer incidents. Every car I owned before that, I'd hit a deer or bump a deer or have a close call, maybe a slight dent. Driving super slow because it was a snow squall out, and it's like, do. I'm gonna run out now. No, I didn't hit it. That sucker jumped the fence to hit me.
It saw you and was like, damn,
He's doing all right for himself. He's
I'm
a
gonna
little stressed,
fuck
but
this man up.
nah. So I got to get a car, but that's life for me. But I completely forgot about the podcast because that following weekend I was like trying to get stuff with the insurance company done. So that one's on me.
That's
So what have you
all.
been up to?
Nothing much. Just work. That's pretty much it, man. When I'm not streaming or doing this, I'm kind of just at work.
I'm me, it's either working or suffering.
Right.
Um, well, my wife and I are trying to look at like planter boxes and stuff, or design them so we can plant our own vegetables and stuff. Because she's wanting to go full cottage core or whatever it's called,
Oh no.
homestead. That's fine. I got plenty of woodworking tools. I just haven't done anything with them.
Right.
I gotta rip up like most of my back porch anyway and replace it now. So it's give me some good practice.
Right. I
But
get you.
so you keep more up to it than I do.
Yeah.
What all is coming to PlayStation from Xbox?
Oh shit. That
Because I always see people angrily posting online, so I don't know what to believe.
Okay. 1 second.
I People are upset like, "Oh, Hi-Fi Rush, how dare you?" And that's the least shocking one. And then Starfield, apparently, another one that's not shocking at all.
I believe so. Let
I've
me
seen people
let
talking
me
about
double check
Gears and
just to be
Halo.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see.
the anticipation of killing me.
I had to pull up the list. The big list.
It's just people are like, "How dare you?" The betrayal. I'm like, it's just a console, man. Like PlayStation's already going to PC, Microsoft is going to PC,
Right.
and Microsoft has been like kind of hinting that they're kind of wanting to move away from hardware for a while.
Yeah.
So it doesn't shock me at all.
Oh, let's
So
see. I had a
like
list like a while ago, but for some reason I can't find. But I think
I think you mentioned Gears at one point to me.
Gears was
Halo,
uh
and then it's like
um
what, and then
Halo, Forza got announced for it.
Forza. That's the one. Like, so what's Microsoft got left, or what's Xbox got left besides its reverse compatibility that it's been phasing out bits and pieces of because they're getting rid of the older stores. So
Oh no.
Microsoft is becoming Sega. We're gonna get here in 20, 30 years. We're gonna get a Halo movie, that does it justice. Not saying that there are any other properties are out there that don't do it justice, but how Sonic's gotten its revival, kind of.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
movies are really kicking it up a notch.
yeah. With Shadow loving his avocados and Latinas, you know.
Of course.
No, it was not avocados. It was guacamole. Revenge guac. Um,
Apparently,
no.
with Gears, allegedly, we're getting the Marcus Phoenix collection.
Oh, so the original trilogy plus that
Original
prequel game.
trilogy fully remastered.
Isn't there a prequel one? Is it Judgment, where it's like Emergence Day?
Kinda. We don't talk about Judgment, but E-Day
The last
comes
time
out this year, I think, and I'm
uh,
so excited.
see, I played the original trilogy. I think I have them somewhere in a box around here, along with my Xbox Series S. Somewhere around here in a box. I played the hell out of my brother, and I used to, because we didn't have internet at the time, so the only multiplayer competitor was right next to you. So
Mhm.
when you get a little cheap, it's like oh man, it's a real shame that your knee is right there. Um, but no, he and I used to play the hell out of that. Uh, then we played Reach, like we had Reach and we played it on multiplayer. But we, like I said, it's all local, living out in the country, the sticks and the boonies.
Mhm.
They only just put DSL out where I used to live last year. So
Damn.
yeah, I've been having to deal with educating my mom in the ways of streaming services. We got her a Roku for Christmas. It's like, so if like we don't have a credit card, so how do we pay for Netflix? Well, you can go get a Netflix card. We want to get Paramount Plus. They make a card for that too.
Basically, the majority of streaming services that you want to use, there's more than likely going to be a card for it.
Oh, the funny thing is, I told him like, oh, we'll just get the ad version because we don't mind commercials. I'm like, these aren't commercials; these are ads. There's a difference.
They're
Like,
ads for things that you could watch on the thing that you're currently.
well, not even that. See, a lot of things you'll notice that are made for streaming. They don't have
Mhm.
commercial breaks built in.
Yeah.
Stuff that was made for TV would have like a pause here, end scene. Meanwhile, you're just in the middle of watching a scene and hard cut to an ad. It's like, do you need this product? No, now skip. All right, product done, and have five more of the same one in a row. So they're having fun with that. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, did you hear about Nintendo losing a trademark battle?
Oh yeah, but the Super Mario store.
The Super Mario grocery store. I love that.
I'm gonna have to go. Oh, that's it. I'm making it a plan. I'm going.
Find a way to get there. Let's
Yeah.
see, where's it at?
Brazil, I
So
think.
I got to load it up here. Uh, Jose Mario Alfaro Gonzalez first applied for the Super Mario trademark back in 2013. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out, like, it was like an old grocery store. It
Oh, Costa Rica.
was Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But it's just like, guys, his name is Mario. It's like, what are you gonna do here?
Like it's quite literally his name.
But it's like I think he was using like iconography, which is a fair issue.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is our mascot and everything, but you could just like paint it to slightly look like him and go. You've been to Jungle Gyms, right? Down there in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
You know how they've got like weird things where it's like, hey, we're legally distinct looking. Here,
So
enjoy your alligator meat and ostrich eggs.
pretty
Mmm.
much
Oh man, I haven't been to Jungle Gyms in a minute.
enjoy your One Piece store.
One Piece store.
The One
Oh,
Piece
the
the
one
One Piece card game has a flagship in there.
are you talking about the big one down there in Eastgate? Or are you talking about the
Yeah.
main one?
Yeah, the Eastgate one.
Oh, I haven't been to that one in a minute because last time we went to Jungle Gyms was like the big, huge facility, the big, huge one.
Mhm.
Back when my cat had to have surgery and we had to spend the night at a hotel to deal with the driving. Now that's like a half
Perfect.
hour away. It used to be an hour and a half away. But
Perfect.
yeah, no, it's weird here. Now. I don't know what's the temperature where you live right now.
Shit. 69. Nice.
It's nice. I know it's 66 here. It's like, oh, turn down the heat for a change. This is great.
Oh,
That's
correction.
tempting to open up a
71.
window.
Correction. 71.
71. Now I'm looking at mine down there. It's 66 degrees, mostly sunny, and then it's supposed to like be 30 again here in a day or two for like a minute.
Mm-mm-mm. Don't
It's like
we don't we
Phyllis.
love the what? 3 more weeks of winter? 6 weeks? What is it?
I know. Phil's seen a shadow, so I think it's supposed to be like a longer winter. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm killing that fucking groundhog. I don't care if he's a dad now. I'm killing him.
You can know Phil fucks, but no, I'm like, I have to get a new car. I swear to God, the winter needs to be done so I can like get used to it before I go driving. Like first day of driving a car, cool. Time to go sliding down the road.
Pretty much.
Did I ever tell you about the one time I came home in a blizzard with my wife in the car?
I think.
Or it was the Ford Taurus I had. It was like my first or second year having it, and I was working till midnight. And she was like, "Well, I'm not going to drive home in this because she had a little Ford Focus." I'm like, "All right, we'll just carpool together. No big deal. We'll just abandon your car here in this parking lot." And as we're driving home, I'm like, she's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "It's just the wind pushing the car a little bit. Don't worry about it, because it's a windy thing." It was not the wind. The car was sliding every 5 feet slightly in a direction. Like, oh, it was just the wind.
It's just the wind. It's all
Got
right.
home. I'm like, got home, got warm. I'm like, I have to be honest with you about something. She's like, what? And all startled and worried. I'm like, the car was sliding the whole time. She's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, because you would have freaked out. And I don't need that stress while driving.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like, look, it's a little white lie. I'm being honest with you now, but I didn't want you stressing out about the car sliding, going every 5 feet. Um, but no, I hope the friggin' snow is gone. I normally love it, but not right now.
Hmm.
Everything out here, it is a swamp right now. The
Um, kind of for me.
well, I have I store my trash can, beside my little shed, and I went to go park it there because pickup was today, and I'm just like, I start sinking down in the mud. I'm like, good lord. Uh, but now let's see. Any other gaming news for you?
Not really, but there is one thing I want to talk about.
All right.
1 second. Let me double check to make
Uh-oh.
sure my numbers right.
Number what?
Not only did he win 5 Grammys last night,
Oh, Kendrick.
we get to see Kendrick call Drake a pedophile on live TV in like 4 days.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
I am so excited. I'm gonna be sitting on the couch. He's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, "This is it. This is
Oh
gonna be
man.
awesome."
See, like, I don't listen to his music, nothing against him. It's just not my cup of tea. But I'm just like I told you, I was listening to that song. I'm like, good lord,
I can't wait for the entirety of the stadium where the Super Bowl's going on.
going certified pedophile.
Going certified lover boys, certified pedophile.
It'd be great if they just had it so like people like how like those like composite pictures where it's like a bunch of dots to
Yeah.
make up an image. It'd be great if they had people like out there dancing and they all got to do a composite image of his face when he did certified
Drake's
pedophile.
face. Bunch of
That'd be
people come
great.
out holding pictures of Drake.
Yeah, no, just some kind of weird thing that you can like see from like a plane or whatever.
The fact that he was
Um,
able to win 5 Grammys last night for that one song is fucking phenomenal.
oh yeah, I know it's crazy. So I
I'm
was like, oh,
like,
he got one, and then it's like he got five.
he got record of the year?
Wow.
He was quite literally the song of the summer?
Did Drake ever win a Grammy?
I don't know. Has Drake won a
Like,
Grammy?
like, like I don't care. But it's just one of
Drake
those things where
Grammy.
it's
He
like,
has 5.
oh no, they're tied.
Actually, Lamar has 22.
Oh, okay. So no, he tied him in just like, here you go. Now we're equal. Now here's the rest.
Yeah. Like, what's that? Where you're at 5? Let me just get the amount that you have in total in one night.
It's like when you're fighting a boss in a game and it's like you do enough damage. It's like, oh, I'll get serious for a second. Here you go. Just let me flex for a second.
Oh my
Oh Lord.
god. That made me so happy when I went back and like looked. I was like, damn. Man really swept the floor with all the rap
Oh,
based awards.
oh yeah, no. He has to be seething, Drake.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, I won that. I won that fight. Yeah. No, you didn't.
What's funny to
Uh,
me is the amount of like other like artists that were up for record of the year. Like you
right,
had
who
you
all was
had your
up?
Taylor Swift, you had Billie Eilish, you had the Beatles, surprisingly.
The Beatles?
Yeah, because I guess they found like an old song,
Oh, like a lost track or two.
and then Paul and Ringo decided to just finish it.
It's like, here you go. We'll put this out for you
Like you
guys.
had
I'm sure
Taylor
it'll take.
Swift, Billie Eilish, Sabrina Beyonce.
Yeah.
Nah, the song where Kendrick Lamar calls Drake a pedophile gets to win.
Well, everyone, it was like people were singing it, man. Like I said, I'm not even into his music or anything. I'm like certified.
Certified little boy, certified pedophile.
Just driving around at work on my forklift, like certified. Just Like,
Oh my
what is that
god.
man doing? Because like people must think I'm insane because I never talk to anyone at work. I talk to you, but I never really talk to anyone. It just see me start smiling for no reason while driving a forklift.
You start thinking about it. It's just
It's like that guy, the guy who keeps to himself and never talks to anyone. They're smiling and laughing like a maniac.
I wonder what he's doing. You in the background. Certified lover boy, certified.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, no. So, you been playing any games worth noting or?
Not really. I restarted Breath of the Wild.
Oh, well, I mean, you know,
I finished Alan Wake,
one or two.
the first one.
So I still need to finish one. I think I got like 75% of the way through it and something else came out. I have Alan Wake 2, and maybe it's just my mental state right now. I just can't really get into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm a little all over the place at the moment. But for me, I loaded up Sniper Elite 5. I'm like, oh hey, that's right. I have the DLC for this I never touched. So I'm slowly working my way to kill Hitler.
Again.
Yeah. I love how that's the DLC for those games. It's like, oh,
Like
time to go
every
kill Hitler.
single game is just, hey, what's a new way that you can find to kill Adolf Hitler?
Yeah, and it's just like we could make it totally canon to whatever. Every time he's tried, every time it's just been a body double.
Exactly. Every time it's been a body double.
Well,
And then you
well,
get to
not
the
every
zombie
time.
games and he's like zombie Hitler and it's the funniest shit in the world.
Well, not every time because Hitler only had one ball, so you can tell real quick if it's Hitler or not by shooting him in the dick.
Surgically remove every single Hitler body double's left testicle.
Yeah, no. Oh god, that's probably been a thing that's a body they've had to have body doubles do. I mean, they've had extensive facial reconstruction and everything.
One sec.
Uh, oh.
Which one was he missing? Because I said left.
I
Right.
was thinking
Damn
left
it.
also. It's the right. I don't know why I think I probably both thought the left.
I don't know, but left is
And
always right. I don't fucking know.
maybe someone else is as famous for missing left testicle. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so here's a weird one. I'm kind of like just like brain dead gaming right now. So I have a Digimon World Next order, and I've been like I beat the game forever ago, but it's like hey, here's the post game. It's really grindy. So I'm
Yeah,
like cool. I'll just background mindless grind the crap out of this game. You know.
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, it was originally a Vita game, and they're like, oh, we'll clean it up and port it. I'm like, that's fine with me. I love a good Digimon game.
Yeah, I'm
Unlike,
going with that.
Pokemon half the time, they can actually be a little more mature in some places.
No, it's time for you to play the hit game Digimon Survivor.
I own Digimon Survivor. I play Digimon Survivor. Did not get into Digimon Survivor.
I have not touched
It's
it yet. I just know that I have it.
it's the disconnect for me between it's basically like a survival it's not survival horror, but it's a visual novel style with like a tactical battle game going on
Hmm.
for like the combat. But it's just like there's
XCOM?
such a weird no. Like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like XCOM is just like a very nice, cleaned up, like military. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no, and it's just like you have to make choices, and then like I'm not sure if it's. I know it's a looping story where it's like, oh hey, you didn't save everyone. Time resets at the end or something. And it kind of, it's kind of like, oh, now you'll do better this time and carry your stats and unlocks. I'm like, all right, but how long is the story for me to have to do a loop?
Yes.
Storylines like that are like, oh, if you have to drag yourself through the mud to do them, it's not
Yeah.
that much fun to play. So it's always like I hate games that negate your progress.
What?
Or well, it's like if it's a game mechanic, it's fine. But I'm talking about like the culmination of the story. It's like, oh, you get to the end and nothing matters, or everything you've done will be undone. So it's not basically Xenoblade Chronicles 3 spoiler there. But it's like, oh hey, all your hard work, did it really matter in the end? And I'm like, cool, I have no interest in playing any of the DLC now. No, I bought the season pass. So uh, it's just like whenever that happens, it always kills it for me because it's always like, oh, you can do the game, and it's like, oh, the ending won't change. You can't make things. You can't find another path, no matter how powerful you are, or who you've managed to meet in the DLC to change things.
Mhm.
Well, I always liked Mass Effects. Like Citadel didn't really change too much, but some of the DLCs had impact on the ending of 3. And then Citadel DLC was just like the true send off for the franchise. And
Yeah.
now we're getting a new one, apparently. Oh yeah, I beat that Star Wars game that came out,
Oh,
Outlaws.
Outlaws.
6.57 out of 10.
Better
There's
than
not
what
really,
most people have given it.
there's no real, like, some of the stuff is fun. Like, oh, I want to go out in my ship and just explore space and, like, be, just be a bit of a menace.
Yeah.
But it's like the combat isn't too deep. Once you unlock like the heavy blaster sniper module or whatever it is, you just shoot things in the head and they die. It's I figured out what it was forever ago, and I was going to talk about it, and I forgot. It's basically Star Wars Red Dead Redemption, but like the kid mode. You get a
Increase
dead eye.
difficulty.
You get a dead eye thing, where it's like you charge up a gauge after enough combat, and you press in both joysticks, and it's like, oh, now you get to target everyone in the head and shoot them. Heavies require 2 clicks to lock on and kill them. It's like it's just dead eye. Some maps give you a speeder to run around on, and you can customize it and tune it up. So there's your horse. You can run up and punch guys. I basically, if anyone wants to ever play this game, all 2 of our listeners at the moment, I guess. Uh, if you ever want to play this game, go to the ice world, and there's gear there that if you equip the whole set, it like gives you good regeneration bonuses, and then you just don't have to worry about healing anymore. So, it's
I
like,
mean, that's one way to do it.
no, I just was like, oh, cool. That was my second world I did because you do the one world, and it's like, all right, you got your ship now, go explore. Here's all your different systems you can go to. It's like, right. It's just like so disconnected at times.
Mhm.
Like the cool part was meeting Lando Calrissian and then playing him in cards. So and there's actually a trophy to beat him, and I was like, oh, that wasn't even that hard to do. I was scared to death. I was like, this is going to be a challenge. It was not a challenge.
Yeah,
I
if it's
do
an
like
if it's an
the
achievement, it should have been pretty difficult.
well, or it's just like, or at least significant. But it's like he sends you a challenge for it, and you just there's some cool things you can do with the cheating in that game when you're playing the cards.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I really like is the it's like match 2. Like you have to have like match 2 or within so much, like it goes up to 6, and they have to be like you have to be as close to 0 in your totals as possible. What the left card subtracts from the right card or whatever. So you want to be as close to 0 as you can, that kind of thing. But you can like send out your little buddy to like spy on everyone's cards for you. And then you can also like have the option to accidentally, or not accidentally, but purposely steal a card so you have an extra card to swap with. Or you can influence the dice because there's a couple of cards that let you like leave it up to chance. Your number is a random number. So it's like that was a lot of fun. You could tell they had fun making that. You could tell they had fun making the starship stuff, but there was just not that much to it.
Mhm.
So ultimately shallow. So I don't know. I'm waiting for Monster Hunter. So I'm just going through my backlog of like, all right,
Soon.
what old stuff do I have? Mm. Oh, wife for Valentine's Day. Wife's ordered the Steelbook. So I'm like, excellent. So I could smack my brother with it next time I see him. Like I'll just whenever I hopefully get ahead on all the bills because freaking car. Just buy
Right.
the extra like the deluxe. Actually, I don't think the deluxe comes with a season pass like most of them do. Monster Hunter just tends to do its DLCs as an entire expansion. So,
Yeah.
but hey, oh yeah, the beta for Monster Hunter opens back up. I think it opens up here this weekend, and then it's opening up again with added stuff on the 14th. So people are like, "Hey, babe, guess
Okay.
what we're doing for Valentine's Day? We're not smashing. I'm smashing monsters. Let's go get this Gypsyros.
Not now, babe. I'm killing monsters.
Not now. I'm sharpening my sword. I'm I'm smashing this monster. I'm let's see. I'm tooting my hunting horn. I'm riding the Sekirei or Sekirei or whatever it is. No,
Amazing.
nah. There's a couple things coming out. We're getting there's something else. Oh yeah, Pirate Yakuza comes out like later on this
Yeah,
month.
let's fucking go, Pirate Yakuza!
That was the other one I was trying to think about. I was like, there's something else I'm interested in, but I'm not going to touch for a while because yeah, like Monster Hunter, I'll probably end up putting 100 to 200 hours in before I'm done with it until the expansion drops, and then after that, it's like, all right, what's next? There's Indiana Jones, I guess, because it's supposed to drop soon, I guess, for PlayStation, and then Pirate Yakuza. I just had a thought. So Bethesda signed a exclusivity contract with Xbox, correct? Microsoft.
I think.
So well, it's so Elder Scrolls 6 has been announced. They got nothing really going on. Will Microsoft even have a console by the time that game comes out?
Interesting.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of like, we're moving our games over a bit. It's like, even if there's a delay like a year,
Yeah,
like how PlayStation had with Steam, it's still like no one's gonna go buy your console to get Elder Scrolls 6 when they can wait for it to come out patched and cleaned up on PlayStation.
pretty much.
So yeah.
Or they'll just
Uh,
pull a Breath of the Wild and leak it on PC early. Well, not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Did you ever play Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, yeah, I went to the midnight
Okay,
release for it.
okay. Why didn't I have you beat it? Like you
I
said, you were
haven't
starting to
beat
with Breath
it,
of the Wild.
but I've played it.
See, they had put out an update because there's an item dupe glitched. I'm like, oh crap! So I was like, I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. I turned on my Switch and like turn off auto update, turn off auto update. They're like, no, I don't have the time anymore to like grind out all these materials. So,
I'm keeping the dupe glitch.
well, they never put out DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm safe.
Yeah,
So that's always the fun thing. It's like, oh, if you put out another update, yeah, I probably would have. You would have had content. I'm honestly surprised there was no Xenoblade Chronicles 3 content for Tears of the Kingdom because I think it's the same company that makes them.
I
Monolith Soft.
I know that
I'm getting.
there's Xenoblade Chronicles content in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you can get like that content in Tears of the Kingdom, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was out, so I'm just surprised that there was no like, you know, clothing wise.
Yeah,
Because Noah's jacket and Mio's jacket and their clothes would fit more than Rex's diving suit. So,
good shit.
like Tears of the Kingdom, the one thing I like about it is all that extra stuff that was in Breath of the Wild is just out there as like a dungeon reward or a crazy like side quest reward. It's like, oh, you want to get Majora's Mask? It's all the way down here after this challenge. Go kill all these Lionels.
Pretty much.
But all the mazes, they they had I think that's how you get Ganon's gear, the Ganon suit. So it's just like, hey, we just implemented this stuff, no problem. But no, I haven't touched my Switch in a minute. God. Oh, hey, we got Switch 2. We haven't talked about that.
Switch to it.
Is-
Yeah, I'm actually very
yeah.
excited about it.
I am and I am not because I probably won't get it when it drops. I might, but I don't think I'll be in a
Might.
position for
It's
it.
it's a might kind of situation.
Well, I mean, it depends on what's coming out because most people are like, "Oh, the frame rate and it runs the games rough." I can get past that. I grew up playing PlayStation games. I'd rent from a video store that had scratches, so they would lag and catch at random spots. There was a point with Final Fantasy VIII where I couldn't get past a point in disc 2 because whoever had had that disc last had scratched it, and during the cinematic it would lock up.
Damn.
So I was like, great, cool. Uh, so there was a long time, but I didn't know how Final Fantasy VIII went. Um, but it's like I'm used to games having those crashy, crunchy moments.
Yeah.
So I keep hoping that PlayStation keeps adding their old PlayStation One collections onto you know, on the PlayStation Classics collection. Like we got Dino Crisis One, and I got it for free because I own Dino Crisis One on my PSP. Like, please give me Dino Crisis Two. Come on now,
You
I have
see,
some fun memories with Dino Crisis Two.
I would be excited for um oh fuck, I just lost my train of thought. I would be excited for more old PS games to go to PlayStation. Um if it wasn't for the fact that they never allow you to download the games and only stream them through their really shitty streaming system.
Some of them let you buy them outright.
Some
Not
of them
all of
will
them,
let
but
you
some
play
do.
them, but I was really excited when they put the Resistance games on there,
Mm-hmm.
and then that shit was download only. Well, stream only.
Were the, were they PlayStation Three games?
Yep.
That
There
might be
was
part of the
there was a
reason.
bunch of PS3 games, and then they had a PSP game, but for some reason the PSP game is downloadable.
I think it's probably because you could download it and take it with you on a PSP. And
Yeah,
since PlayStation 3 was like an online, more online console than PlayStation 2 was, it could be that it's just some weird setting. Plus, PlayStation 3 is a pain in the ass to emulate, apparently. Like, people are trying to, like, I remember hearing people going, like, oh, yeah, we can't get this to run at all. Like, it's like some issues with the hardware or something, I swear. But this is years ago, so I might be wrong. But I could have sworn there's issues with it.
yeah,
I'm like, all the medieval games are out. All of them, including the PSP ones, are available to buy on PlayStation. And I'm like, that's cool. The only one I want to buy is two. But I'm like, I've got Medieval One technically because I got the Medieval remake. And if
yeah.
you do all the like little extra collectibles they put in the game, it just flat out unlocks Medieval One in Medieval Two in Medieval remake.
Damn.
So you beat the whole game and it's like now go play the original. And I'm like, that is such a sick thing that they did. I wish more remakes would do that.
Right.
And then I think the Sly Cooper trilogy is available for purchase, and it was a PlayStation 2 franchise. So honestly, I think it's just anything that was PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of how it feels sometimes, but
yeah, like that, like the Digimon game I mentioned, Next Order. It was a Vita game, and they just cleaned it up and ported it completely, done. I'm not sure if the Cyber Sleuth games they were on Vita. Now that I think about it, because I remember there being some some Vita connectivity stuff you could do where you could apparently play both. Like you could play it and transfer your save over or something. I think I did it once just to see it because I my old Vita's sitting somewhere. It's like, oh, this is cool. And Final Fantasy X would let you do the same thing. I think where you could like move your saves one way.
yeah.
I pulled my Final Fantasy X save over from the Vita to my PlayStation, and I was like, cool, I can just resume. And then I just never played it after I did all the work.
Damn.
Story of my life is doing all this work to do it, and then I'm like, I don't feel like playing this anymore. It's like all that work to like make dinner, and you're like, I'm not hungry.
Sucks.
It's like I didn't want to eat this.
Kind
It's
of
like
where I am right now.
why did I make cookies? I wasn't hungry for cookies. Like it's like I'm only getting older, so that the dementia's kicking in early. So, oh
Damn.
Lord, I'll admit it. It's genetic, so the sooner I admit it and face it, the sooner I can start fighting it. But
Right.
no, Monster Hunter is my big focus right now. And I'm not going to go back and play the old Monster Hunter games because here's the secret: playing old Monster Hunter games before you move on to the new one is like it sucks because they always slightly change something with the
Yeah.
combat. Like it's like, oh, how this moves or how this feels or your weapons change. It's like you learn that you get the muscle memory for the old game and then you port it forward to the new one, and you're screwed up. You're not
Yeah.
moving quite as fast. Your iframes aren't as right. The animation's longer or shorter. like the demo for Wilds, they didn't have the hit stop in there. And I was like, played through the whole thing. I'm like, there's something weird about this. I couldn't figure it out. And then I go to Twitter and it's like, the hit stop. I'm like, that's what it is. There's no satisfying, like, crunch whenever you hit an enemy. Like, the frames just stop for like a second.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I'm excited for that. It's already bought for me. So there goes my life.
You
I
didn't
showed
need
my
it.
wife, some dude's wife bought him Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam. And it was like, remember me. It was like the message, don't forget I exist.
Damn.
It's like, yeah, no. It's like my wife will sit over there on her little love seat, stealing my Steam Deck and play Stardew Valley. He's fine.
It'll be fine.
Well, it's every time I do anything, she's like, "Hey, I got a question." I'm like, "All right." Asks a question. I'm like, "I don't know this off the top of my head. Let me load up Google. Google, how do I find this fish? Google, Google, what does this vegetable? Where do the seeds come from? Where do you, what happens here?" She's been jealous of my Stardew Valley farm, so I'm like, "All right, I'll show you how I set it up." Slowly but surely. And she's like, "Oh, I wish we could play multiplayer." I'm like, "Get your own Steam Deck. I'll find a way to transfer your save over." I think it's just as simple as copying the saves, and then just porting them, like copy and paste it over. But
Right.
oh Lord, yeah. She's like, "Oh, I don't like going in the dungeon." I'm like, "I will fight everything while you tend to the farm. Let us go. You harvest the wheat and the crops to feed us. I will slay the beasts down below and bring back minerals." Um, but no, I think it's basically been it for me. I've just been worried about getting my car taken care of. So I started with a list of 12 and I've narrowed it down to 3.
Nice.
Carfax is an amazing website if you can use it, because it's like, oh, this car looks interesting. And I'm like, oh, like I go to this dealer's website. I'm like, so here's these cars. I'm like, all right, which ones have never had an accident? Cool. I go through and I'm like, all right, this person's kept up with maintenance on them and everything. All right, all right. And then I'm like, so what is this car known for having issues with? And it's like, has oil leaks. It have oil issues and it leaks oil and the seals go bad. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. It's like this car. It's like the parts will start breaking down after about a decade. I look at the year on the car. I'm like, ooh, no, that's not good. It's just like I forget what brand it was. It was like there was 3 of those cars on the list. I'm not gonna name them anyway because I don't want them to get mad at me, But
Right.
they they all had oil leak issues. Like the cars themselves didn't have the issues, but they were known for having oil leak issues. Like like the seals would give out, or any number of things. It's like then it's like all right, I'll look in the Carfax for some other cars. It's like was taken to the mechanic because the the coolant was yellow and stuff. I'm like, oh no, not the coolant ones. Like some coolant is yellow, but like, have you ever see Wendy's Frosty? You know that kind of yellowish color that the vanilla is sometimes.
Yeah.
If your oil looks like that, your car's got a cracked head.
Damn.
I've had to deal with that before. I didn't crack it, but
That's not fun.
it was a car I bought, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's cracked," and then he fixed it. He got it fixed for me. But it's like if your oil looks like a Frosty, you got a cracked head. And it's like, oh, brought in the oil looked like a yellow color. I'm like, oh, nope, that car is nope. Don't care if it's been fixed. Nope. And it's like, oh, it was in a small fender bender. And it's like, oh, what happened? It's like, was hit by 2 cars. I'm like, yeah, no. It's like, it got fixed. But yeah, the thing with cars is they get hit and it can lead to other damage. Like,
Yeah. That's usually
like
how it works.
you see my Ford Taurus. It's like, oh, it's mostly cosmetic. The problem is my Ford Taurus was almost legally able to vote because it was 17 years old,
Yeah.
18 years old. It was an '08. Um, but it's like, oh, the parts aren't even made anymore, and the work to fix things. And then, like, when I went to go check it out myself, like, I noticed things I didn't notice before, like the fact that my car's grill had a crack in it. It was like cracked and like a clean one. It wasn't like a halfway. The grill had a crack and didn't even hit the car that hard. I'm like, if the grill has a crack, there's a good chance that the damage went to the radiator in that direction. So even if it's not leaking fluids now, it's probably going to start leaking fluids later if I drive it more. So,
Eventually. That's kind of the shitty part about it.
well, it's like it's like we went through my car's year, like all the issues it has had. And I'm like, I went through every single one of those issues. None of them were card breaking issues. Like, oh, the transmission fails. Nah, none of that. Like, oh, sometimes you get leaks. That happens. Sometimes the brakes need to be replaced. Nah, I had to do that. The shocks and the struts. Yeah, I replaced those 6 months before Bambi hit me. you know, but that's life. You just gotta take the good with the bad. I'm potentially gonna get something that's a lot newer and fancier. Something I hate, but I'm probably gonna get in a car with it. Those cars have keyless starts.
Oh, like the little button.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
No, no, I hate it for the because I look ahead and I'm like, what's the maintenance going to be when that part breaks?
Right.
Because it's like with a key, like it's a key, you twist and go. It's a manual thing, but with that button, I'm not sure where you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
I get
probably
you.
it's probably just it's like it has to read your key. The fob is in there because I had a rental car for a little brief period of time thanks to my insurance, and it had the same thing going. And it's like it has to have the key fob has to be in your pocket. You can't because I went to I had my wife try and start it. I was like, oh hey, go ahead and start it up, and it wouldn't start for her because I was standing outside the car. It's like, all right, so the range on that's very short. So what happens when that part burns out? You can't even start your car.
Right.
There's no key at all. And then one of the cars I'm looking for doesn't even have a shifter; it has a knob. I'm just like, oh boy, let me crank this sucker up to 11. Like a literal physical knob where it's like park, neutral, reverse, 1, 2,
So
drive.
Ash and I went car hunting a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago because I'm looking for a new vehicle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because your truck's getting a bit old.
we ended up test driving two different types of Ford Broncos.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, I think both of them actually had that knob.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash fucking hated that. And I will actually be right back because I think my cat just knocked over a bunch of shit in my bedroom.
All right.
I really hope not, but I will be right back.
Oh, cats are gonna cat, man.
Okay, never mind. Apparently, it was nothing. I guess the cat fell off the bed or something. I don't know.
They've been hitting that catnip a little early. My cat's like one of them's the sweetest, calmest cat ever until 3 a.m. rolls around, and then the other one is nothing but pure menace all the time. Like he'll get up and Isla. I think you've seen her. She's the one that's brown and white.
Yeah.
Um, she still stare me down. So she'll get up on the entertainment unit, just sit on the sound bar there, and it's just like so she's leaning slightly forward, and
Mm-hmm.
she just stares me in the eye while I'm playing games. I'm like, stop it. I'm like, stop it. And then she turns around and will start smacking the TV. Why are you doing this? You have dry food. I play with you. Why? This is my only chance to like chill out. And at the moment I go to get up to move her, she jumps down. So I sit back down, get comfortable, she gets right back up.
Like, fuck you and your game. Feed me
Oh,
food, you
God.
piece of shit.
And my wife's just like, just ignore her. I'm like, I can't ignore her. She starts smacking the TV. And I'm like, I'm just gonna get to the point where I'm gonna stick her in a cardboard box and just stick it in the closet whenever I start playing video games. Like I was getting everything set up for the podcast today, and she's like, "Oh, I love you so much." God on top of me was purring, sitting on my lap, which she never does. I'm like, "Oh, you're being good." And then like I gave her a couple pets. She turned around, started biting and clawing at me. I'm like, "All right, are we playing or are we mean?" She's like, and I'm like, "Oh, I see. We're gonna be mean today." like, close the door, get out. I can't have you as a co-host. So,
Nah, man,
uh,
bring the cat on the podcast.
I don't know if she'd behave herself. I would. Beans is completely well behaved. As long as you don't pick up Beans, she's fine with you. If you want to give her pets, she'll flop down and like pet me, love me.
Oi.
It's like the only thing is, I'm pretty sure Beans communicates with demons.
Just summoning
you,
Cthulhu while you and the
well,
wife
she just
sleep.
She just sits there and like her cat tree is about 7 foot, 8 foot tall because we got her tall one. She likes to be up high.
Yeah.
And she just starts rolling around up top on like the little like foot and a half by foot and a half square that's the top, like she's being pet and made over. And she just stops and stares. And she hangs her head upside down off of the side of the cat tree like she's laying, and like you know how you'd see someone like lay their head down like off of like a ridge or something, like an anime, like someone
Yeah.
talking, they lean back. She does that and then she turns and looks at us.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, "Are you talking to the demons again?" And she just looks at me. I'm like, "Good, good. Just you just tell them to behave, okay?"
Just
And
checking. Just, you know.
well, she wakes up my wife. She likes to. She's mostly black, but she's got her white spot in her chest and like a white spot in her belly. So if she's sitting right, she's invisible. And she's woken up before in the dark, middle of the night, looked over, and there's just glowing eyes looking at her as the cat's like 3 feet from her face. Hmm.
Just do
But
it for her.
yeah, well, but I'd say that's about been my week, 2 weeks and a half now, 3 weeks. I'm not sure where we're at. I'm all
Right.
messed up because I took a little mini vacation from work because I didn't have a car because wife needed her car for work. I couldn't drive to work with it.
Right.
So nothing else going on with you?
Not really. I kind of just been hanging out,
Um,
you know, going to work.
going to work.
I
You
got
still looking
I
for
got
something else?
affiliate back on Twitch, so that's cool.
I I really need to get into streaming, but like Monster is kind of. But I'm like, I need to make a name, like a good name for my like not a name for myself like a presence, but a good name for myself that is catchy. And then I'm like, I'll just stream Monster Hunter because I'll be playing the hell out of Monster Hunter.
Right.
Monster Hunter's like, all right, now let's play something weird, guys. Something completely unconnected to Monster Hunter. Let's play some Digimon World or something.
Digimon.
All right, since none of you losers want to play 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, I'll play through it for you. Let's go.
I mean,
Then just not at all trying to call out present company who gave up. You'll come back to that someday, or Ash will. Like, what is
eventually,
this?
eventually, I will get back into it. Eventually.
My favorite thing is the company that makes it's Vanillaware or Vanillaware Soft. I can never get the title right.
It's one
They
of the
made
two. I don't
yeah,
know.
they made Unicorn Overlord, and it's always people like whenever elves are mentioned, like I love elves, and then it's like they always use the elves from freaking Unicorn Overlord, where it's like human and elf mating rituals or whatever the one girl. It's like and it's like here's the light and dark elves or the regular elves and the darker complected elves in that game. It's like yeah, here's some elves, folks. Like the, the people who designed the character designers in those games, boy, they love to draw things.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of the characters in Unicorn Overlord?
I can't say I have.
You should look up some of the ladies in Unicorn Overlord. Just if you get bored, just avoid a certain numbered website, uh, with a rule in the front of it. But nah, it's like I really need to figure out a good name that would work for me, and then I'll just start streaming directly from my PlayStation.
I
It's
mean,
like, all
yeah,
right,
that's what I
guys,
used to do.
basic, let's go. Frankly, headset that I have connected directly to my remote. All right, we winning, guys. We winning.
We got this.
Well, honestly, it's like how I play Monster Hunter. I'll just jump in and help people. For me, it's not like, it doesn't matter who you are. It's more about the thrill of the hunt. It's like, struggling. All right, cool. It's like, you got this. All right, cool. I'll go all out. I mean, there was a time when I played it on Monster Hunter 4U on a 3DS, and I got stuck in a room with a noob who didn't know how to do things. And over the text chat there, I directed him on how to do things. I'm like, what do you want to do? What you want to do? Like, I don't mind helping people play games because then more people play the game, and then they spread the knowledge further. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like gatekeeping. However, if you play Monster Hunter and you just hang back while everyone else does the work, you're getting kicked.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
It's like you got to go back to sharpen your sword or restock. Fine, but I used to have games where I'd like hop in to help people do a hunt to advance, and it's like have you ever played old Monster Hunter or seen anything about it?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how it was like just a zone that you loaded into?
Yeah.
Well, on the map you could see if someone was sitting back there in the zone. So it's like, all right. And they didn't used to have a restock at the camp, so it's like the only reason you'd leave the zone is to go heal real quick or to sharpen your weapon. And I remember one dude who just sat back, like, all right, they coming in, and they never came in. I'm like, all right, click, click, kick. I have no tolerance for you. You're not going to contribute to the monster to any damage. Fine, you're leaving. So with how wilds works, it's going to be fun to see how that works. It's like you can't kick me. We're on a public server. No, but I'll just hound you and make your life miserable. It's like, all right, we got to sneak to avoid this monster here. We don't want to anger the flock. Me over there menacingly. Let's anger the flock. Or herd. It's not flock, it's a herd dynamic. But, But, I think that's about it for me. Unless you got something to bring up.
Oh my gosh. I
So
don't
you kind of
know.
blinked there for a second. I was like, did we drop?
Um, let's see. Is there anything? I can't say there's much going on in my life, like other than work and then trying to get a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Same.
New Battlefield got announced today.
Oh, yeah. I never
We
touched
back.
those games, but good for
We
everybody
back. That's
else.
all I'm gonna say is we back.
I try to avoid shooters because it's like it's toxic as hell
Oh,
unless you have
100%.
people you know. So,
No, we are so back. Um,
like I'm under doctor's orders to keep my blood pressure low, so I have to avoid people. Like I forgot when I was playing Sniper Elite 5, I had like the Axis Invader turned on. And I was like, oh shit, there's someone coming, turn it off real quick. I don't want to deal with this shit.
I played Axis Invader once. Killed a
Mm-hmm.
guy.
Yeah.
He was very upset.
Oh yeah. No. No.
Like, turn it off then if you don't want to play it.
Well, I think it's on by default. So, but
Well, it gives you the option to turn it off before you even
oh
start the
yeah, oh
campaign.
yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I think it's just automatically on, but I turned it off, and I turned it on a few times on levels I knew,
Mhm.
and then I was just playing like, all right, cool, bait, like kill a few guys, put some bombs on them. It's like, all right, there's a teller mine there.
Let's see what
Let's go.
happens.
Oh, I got a couple guys that way because I'd like make some noise and then run into an area with that's a dead end, and
Mhm.
then I'd have a dead body or two on the access points, and then boom, it's like you know what you're doing. It's like, and then it's like one dude and I went back and forth like for an hour. He kept invading me. I'd shoot him, and then it's just like it's like we kept on sniping each other. He'd kill me, and then it's like, all right, no, we're going to go again. It's like I I respect your game. So, but nah, for me it's just been working, suffering. So, and you said the same thing was basically going on with you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else that might be interesting. Oh.
Oh no,
The multiverses, huh?
I haven't paid any attention to multiverses ever. I just
Multiverses is shutting down
it completely.
completely. At the end of this season, it'll be the last season that they do.
Is that why people were? I seen someone posting about how they had the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's like they had a whole bunch of stuff and never did anything with her. Like she was in the comics and everything that they did.
I think I don't know.
Comic Boards got them scared, like how it just died.
Basically, the game will still be available.
But there's not going to be any further
There's
updates.
not going to be any content. Like it's going to be taken off. Like online, it's going to be eradicated, and you'll just be able to play it offline.
Oh, wow. And people will find a way if they're truly dedicated to it, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals took over everything, so
2 weeks later, hey guys, it's servers are back up due to other people.
yeah, no. Oops, we made a server, and here's a air quotes official patch for you.
Pretty It's
Oops,
it's
sorry, I had to get a
interesting.
drink there.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That game, well, it also sucks, but at the same time, they did kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they decided to take the game away
Yeah, they took it away for like a year, didn't they, to like fix
Something
things and
like
whatever.
that.
It's like you killed your momentum.
Like, you had such a good thing going.
Yeah.
It's cool. I still feel accomplished for being able to steal the name Dungeons and Dragons as my display name on Warner Brother games. Like, as soon as like signups for that shit became available, I was like, I wonder if I can get Dungeons and Dragons. And so I typed it in, and sure enough, Dungeons and Dragons was available.
Somebody who has a D&D based gaming channel is like, the fuck?
Who the fuck took that?
Ruined their life or
Yeah.
their day. It's
Damn.
like some Dungeons and Dragons 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my god. I'm not even upset. I think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Should have just got there quicker, dummy. They have so many games. I'm honestly surprised Dungeons and Dragons just hadn't been taken yet. Like it appalls me.
Dungeons and Dragons 69, Dungeons and Dragons 420.
Oh, Ash and I are on our next anime adventure.
Oh yeah?
We finished Mashal. It's peak.
Yeah.
Right now we're currently on um The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Original run or the new season?
The first season right now.
Okay, the good season before he had his spirit broken.
It's good so far. It's good.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I found out how it ended, and it's like, oh.
I
Uh,
I do not plan
watch season
on.
two.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I don't plan on trying to read ahead.
Oh, I didn't read ahead. I was just like, when they posted season two, someone commented in the, like, oh, it'll get announced, and someone on Twitter was like, yeah, it's a shame about the ending, and then I went down that thread of
Oh
suffering.
no, you went and
And I was like,
looked.
well, I'm like, oh, cool, and then it's like, oh, like in real life, I think he got divorced, so it's kind of just like, oh, um, I caught up to the English dub of Shangri-La Frontier and the English dubs of Solo Leveling. So
Let's go. Yeah, we need to. I think we're gonna try to do solo leveling.
I say Solo Leveling is a lot shorter, a lot smaller of a time investment than Shangri-La Frontier.
Well, I started it myself.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about that. You get to like episode 4 and just didn't go any further.
Yeah, I kind of screwed myself on that one, but it's alright.
Oh, I mean, it's not going anywhere.
No, it's gonna be there a while, so I'm not too
Mhm.
worried about it.
Um, Shangri-La Frontier, I think it's halfway through its second season. So look, if you want a good, anime about being in a VR world, but you're not actually trapped in the VR world, you just leave whenever you want to. It's fun. In the middle of the season, he's like, I'm mad. So he just left the game and went and played basically Armored Core.
That's fucking
So
hilarious.
'cause I was like, what the heck is this crap? In the middle of this, like in the title or the opening credits, like why do we got robots? It's like, oh, he got mad and left. That's why, because it's like, you mean I can't equip this stuff? Because he was hoping since it was a set, it'd be like exempt from his equipment ban.
Right.
It's like, what is this crap?
Damn.
No, yeah, it's just like, ah, it sucks to be you, man.
Yeah.
But now, like, I don't know where the hell they get their budget, but damn, like I say about Shangri-La Frontier.
It's something.
Oh yeah, no, you can look up the clips from like the last big fight they did. Is it Apocalypse or Ragnarok or Armageddon? I freaking forget the name of the move. But just check that out if you get a chance. Like 3 minutes long. It's like there's the animation budget of a studio in like that 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I
But
think that's
no,
it
I'm
for me in terms of anime
very, very excited.
for Solo Leveling.
Just everything.
Hmm.
A lot of interesting
Oh,
animes.
Oh yeah.
Very
I don't know if that's
excited.
picking up. You might hear like a scratching noise in the background. I don't know if you're hearing it.
Nah.
The cats have realized I'm in this bedroom and are trying to claw their way in through the doors.
Feed us.
Well,
Feed
it's not even that.
us.
Oh, they let us know when they want food. Isla's quiet. She doesn't meow. Bean screams. Bean's got all the volume for both of them. So,
Do it for the feed us.
although I feed them the dry food, you know, I'm not the one who takes care of the wet food.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's like, "Why do you do this to me?" I'm like, so they know who feeds them the good stuff. So they have a, if I fed them and I'm the one who plays with them, they'll never want to associate with you. But if it's like, hey, you're the one who gives us the good food. Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm gonna suck up to you.
You're the
So
one who gives us the good shit.
yeah, no, I'd say that's it for me, really.
Yeah, I'd say that's
Yeah.
about the same for me.
Well, I guess thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah,
Sorry we just kind of ramble, but I guess that's kind of what we do.
rambling's fun.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's, I don't care if we're background noise for somebody. We're still, if it still helps them focus or whatever. I've been there. I live on background noise. So
It's the life.
if things are quiet, I start to go like, what? Like usually if it's quiet, it usually means the cats are about to break something. So,
You just hear a
so.
loud explosion in the background.
Oh no, that happened. Isla knocked. I have my Cheerios in like a plastic container that I seal so they don't get stale.
Mm-hmm.
Full filled up. She's like, I'm gonna push this off the counter. So basically, a whole giant, like, nice big box of Cheerios, 2/3 of it gone instantly, all over the floor. Like, great, can't salvage this. So, yeah. Be mindful of your furry children, folks. If they want create chaos, they will.
Pretty much.
So, all right. Well, we should get the next episode out sooner. Hopefully this weekend because I have it off. That's my normally scheduled weekend off. So,
Right.
and hopefully I have some news about a vehicle because if I don't, I'm pretty sure the wife's gonna kill me. So, uh, I guess I'll see you guys next time, or you'll listen to us next time.
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right, later.